So item 6, committee reports. Any committee chair? Councilor Mason.
Thank you, President Nodell. The Ordinance Committee will be holding a hearing Thursday the 16th at 5:30 in room 12 to take up a number of zoning specific amendments, some of which are cleanup and other is a sort of second attempt at major impact review. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Giannoni.
Thank you. The Public Safety Committee will be meeting on the 29th of June from 3:30 to 5:30, somewhere in the library, to talk about our upcoming year and what we should work on.
Great, thank you. Councilor Coburn.
I will quickly say that the Community Development Neighborhood Revitalization Committee is meeting next Tuesday, June 21st at 6 p.m., also in the library.
Thank you. Seeing no other committee chair, any city councilor on general city affairs? Councilor Hartnett.
Thank you. I just want to go back and touch on an issue here tonight. I didn't want to take up time during the meeting, but I'll be brief. President Nordell said probably the most important thing we do as a council is the budget. I would agree except for one. I think the most important thing we have an obligation to is public trust. And we failed the public tonight in the commission appointments. We've told the public time and time again it's an open process. Everyone will be treated fairly. Okay, and everyone has the same opportunity. We found that tonight not to be true. That we gave special privileges to a friend of some city councilors, a former city councilor, and never can I remember a city council requesting a commissioner to come forward on the night that we have an approved slate already to give them special permission to do so. I thought Commissioner Kaplan's answer was telling when she said she wouldn't know if she would reapply if she didn't get appointed tonight. And Laura Hale said she had no problem with it. Says a lot about Laura Hale, not much about Nancy Kaplan. I'm disappointed in this council that we broke the trouble plus tonight. I will never, as long as I'm on this council, ask anybody to apply for a commission seat. That's how strongly I feel what we did tonight was wrong.
Other councilors on general city affairs? Councilor Wright.
Thank you, President Odell. President Odell, as you mentioned earlier, we did a moment of silence for the victims in Orlando, Florida. And I just wanted to go back and mention, so many of us were there, walked up Church Street, walked down Church Street and around to the other side of City Hall. And I think it was heartening to see 1,000 people out there. As I just saw the report in the press that 1,000 people were out here to show our support for the victims, for the LGBT community. I just think that at a time when we have so much divisiveness going on in the country, that it was really great to see people pulled together here in the city of Burlington, and also great to see Senator Sanders, presidential candidate Sanders, here speaking, Merle Weinberger, and many other community members. And I think it was, well, it felt draining in a way to even come to the city council meeting after just thinking about that horrific episode in Orlando. I think it really was heartening to see everybody come out to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. I have Colburn, Giannoni, Busher.
Thank you, President Nodell, and I appreciate your words and share your sentiment, Councilor Wright. I wanted to let people know about a meeting that's happening tomorrow night at the Fletcher Free Library from 5:30 to 7. It's a meeting to discuss the future of 242 Main. And as one of the sort of founding members of 242 and someone who really values its role in our community, I plan to be there and talk about the future of this space moving forward. It's been a really important gathering place and safe space for for teens and young adults in our community, and it's actually the longest running all-ages punk rock venue in the country. So I hope people who care about it as much as I do will turn out and talk about its future tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Giannone.
Thank you. I just want to highlight a letter on the Pride Center website from someone from our Parks Department regarding bathrooms and signage, especially in light of what happened in Orlando and what sounds like almost happened in LA as well. I don't know if anyone else has seen this, but there's a really heartening letter on the Pride Center website from Aaron Moreau of the Parks Department that Director Bridges forwarded to me regarding signage and basically letting everyone know that everyone is welcome to use the bathroom of their choosing. So there's that, and having recognized that and recognized what happened tonight, I also need to recognize that there are members of our community, people maybe that we all know or are acquainted with, who experience discrimination every day in our town, and fear for their safety when they leave their house. Don't feel welcome to use the bathroom of their choosing. And I think it goes much further than that. So I just want to recognize that while maybe all of us or most of us attended the vigil tonight or the event tonight, and that was incredibly inspiring. This is something that people in our community struggle with every day.
Thank you. Councilor Busher.
As Councilor Wright said, it's hard to transcend that event and then come back to this room. And my comments are not about what happened in Orlando or what happened earlier tonight. I'm glad that we chose to adjourn the Board of Finance meeting and attend, because that really is the priority for all of us. It was really important for all of us that could be there to be there. But I wanted to talk about more mundane, in the weeds, as usual, as I am, issues. I did want to talk about the fact that last week at the DRB, there was a 2-hour sketch plan review of the project at Burlington College. I've never seen a 2-hour presentation. It was very complete and thorough. It was attended, I wouldn't say well attended, but it was attended, and I hope that people weigh in early. My observation was that a lot is good, but there could be improvements. And I was really hoping, with the unfortunate closure of Burlington College, that, you know me, I have green sneakers. I was really hoping that would allow us to buy some more open space. That's just me, but that's not the case. So I think we need to really protect the view corridors, and I think we really need to figure out how we get people from North Avenue down to the public space and to the waterfront. Please keep watchdog this, and please weigh in. Last week we also had our neighborhood planning assembly for Ward 1 and 8. And the topic, which is ever going on electronically in email, and I don't do Twitter and stuff, but I'm sure it's there, has to do with the mall redevelopment. It surprised me that nobody spoke in support of it. Now, it wasn't a huge crowd, but nobody spoke in support of it. And I'm not going to reveal those. You can watch the tape, but there were some people that really surprised me who spoke against the height and the massing. And these are people who I've always been on the side of more open space, smaller, and so that was a real revelation to me. I think that what I would like to say is that there really is a desire, there was a desire at this council, and there continues to be a desire by the public to have a model before the Planning Commission acts on the zoning overlay. And we saw the value in having that model before it got to development review, and I'm certainly hoping we can make that happen. Last two things are, and tomorrow night, planning at 6:30, I believe it's in conference room 12, I can't swear to it, is dealing with the overlay zone for the development, mall development. And on Wednesday night, for those of you who don't have a life like me, DPW is having their meeting at 6:30, and they're talking about the sidewalk program. So I might see you all there. Anyways, thank you very much.
Councillor Corwin has a clarification about the Planning Commission meeting.
I think the Planning Commission hearing was canceled tomorrow night. Am I wrong in that?
I don't know it to be canceled.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the mayor has some, can we confirm this? It's on the calendar, apparently.
There's one canceled in the future.
Oh, I must have misread.
Okay, the Planning Commission meeting stands.
I would certainly be surprised if.
I have no updates. You're on, Mr.
I'm on.
Mayor.
Okay. Well, thank you, President Odell. I was planning on starting there. I was with the Planning Commission both the last two times they have met, and I would assure Councilor Busher there was many supporters who came out and talked about their support for the project at those venues in front of that body that is deliberating as the council has charged them with about the zoning overlay. I do believe they are meeting again tomorrow, and they are basically meeting just about every week this month in an attempt to meet the council's charge and keep us on track as a city with the 120-day goal that we have set for making a decision about the zoning change, potential zoning change. There were some new tools shared with the Planning Commission last night that I think will be helpful for the council when this issue does return, and that some electronic modeling has been done that really compares the kind of full building envelope allowed in our downtown under the current zoning, as well as to project out what that change would be with the new zoning. I understand that's not the 3D physical model that has also been requested. Work is going on that as well, and it is my expectation that will be complete prior to, certainly the goal is for that to be complete prior to the decision coming back to the council. And David White's shop is really heading that up and working with some of the technical team that we have retained and attempting to move that forward on that timeline. The Planning Commission is also grappling with other details of the zoning, and again, I think trying to take seriously the responsibility the council has given them to move this process forward. A couple other points. I saw that letter that Councilor Giannoni referenced from Aaron Moreau, and appreciated it and what it represents. I do just want to clarify for the council, be clear to the council that it is not only within the Parks Department that we are attempting as a city to really be on top of this transgender, all the issues surrounding transgender awareness and transgender access and rights that has become both a national and a state and a local discussion in recent months. Our city attorney has, last time we met with the department heads, gave guidance to all department heads on what our expectations are and how, what we are expecting from department heads and departments with respect to transgender employees and transgender members of the public, and it's work that we're continuing to pursue and give further direction on. I do have to say it has been a difficult week to be at while we are celebrating Pride Month, to be at 2 vigils marking just terrible, tragic events, one local, the other, of course, in Orlando yesterday. I think I would just share with the council what I will remember about the vigil that we had for Amos Beatty at Perkins Pier. Was meeting Amos's sister and mother, and hearing from his sister, I think the words that really crystallized, summarized for me so much of what I heard and come to understand about Amos in the time since his death. I did not know Amos directly, but it is striking to me how many city employees, Church Street Marketplace employees, police officers, members of the community did know him and knew him to be just enormously loving and giving and caring. And that's exactly what his sister said, is that it is really difficult to understand how something so terrible could happen to someone who was so generous and caring. And it really makes the events that happened down not far from the bike path all the harder to comprehend, makes us all, I think, the angrier about what took place. And it was something we are grappling with as a city, as an organization, as well as a community. And I will say I appreciate the Pride Center of Vermont giving us the opportunity to come together as a community down there at Perkins Pier. It was a very well attended event. As a city, we are again reviewing our homeless policies, reviewing our policies with respect to these encampments in the wake of this terrible event, and considering what other options we may have for the way we manage those encampments. And then finally, I just would share, I thought it was an absolutely remarkable event that took place just before the meeting tonight. Again, the moment that will stick with me, words shared with me by someone I was marching with just before going up on the back steps, how Burlington really proved tonight that it is a community that is just full of love. And I think we all felt that tonight, and it was critical in the wake of this terrible event, terrible homophobic violence, an event that raises many deep questions, I think, about where we go from here as a community and as a country. But that Burlingtonians came out in such numbers and proved itself once again to be a community full of love, I think gives us all hope for that future. Thank you, President O'Dell.
Thank you very much, Mayor.